Yo, what is good? I'm going to be doing a full price action recap here, in-depth explanation. There is a lot to unpack in this session. This morning, I'm a little bit red, 2.3K on the day for my three funded accounts. Still, these are statistical losses. Honestly, the loss I took today, I will go over it. It was not that great, and it was a little bit rushed, and I missed something very, very important that I will get into. But now, taking a look at my bias for the morning, as you can see, it was very, very clear I was bullish to this buy side liquidity. Overall, we are really, pull out the path here. Oh, seemingly in some sort of buy model to this level. I really, I'm very confident in this level getting hit in the next at least day or 2 days, and then we'll be back at all-time highs for sure. But overall, looking at the 2 hour time frame, you could see that we have a 2 hour bearish that we were slightly reacting out of. We did disrespect this massive imbalance here throughout last week, or that was actually this morning we disrespected this imbalance, and then we created this 2 hour bullish for value gap here. So right now we have two kind of DOLs in between each other that I would like to get hit. Scaling down to the 30-minute time frame, I am using this 30-minute bullish for value gap as my condition to frame prices in either direction. Okay, so in this case, if we open up lower, manipulating this 30-minute for value gap, getting some decent internal structure, showing that we're respecting it, using a conditional bias, I can expect the range high. And vice versa, if we disrespect this imbalance, we leave, I don't know, maybe we sweep this level at market open, we come down and start disrespecting this level, showing signs that we do not want to be, respecting bullish, and we want to take this 2 hour bullish, then that will be the case. So I have two scenarios right now, kind of short-term bearish to start the day to at least this 30-minute condition, but I was very confident in my draws and liquidity higher, and I didn't really want to be taking shorts today. So looking on the hourly time frame as well, you could see we have a unmitigated hourly above. Um, just another key level to keep an eye on. Right now we are already inside of a 2 hour bear, so technically it doesn't mean that much, but obviously it can be used for added confluence for a target higher or even a short opportunity. So let's take a look at what price does at market open. Okay, so here at market open, we manipulated higher, sweeping all of this, internal buy side liquidity. Not really that important, sweeping this 2 hour high or the high inside of the 2 hour, and then we manipulated this 1 hour unmitigated. Okay, there was I think a 30-second iFVG, like somewhere around here, which wouldn't have been that bad of a trade, to be honest. I mean, I wasn't really bearish at all, so I didn't really want to be taking these shorts. Obviously, we haven't touched the 30-minute yet, so this actually does align with my bias. I would have taken probably a 1-to-1, going break even at this 930 wick, and I would have gotten, oh, well, would you look at that? I actually would have hit. I actually don't know where the 30-second close is. Probably right here. So 1-to-1 is actually more like this. So I would have got stopped at a break even, unfortunately. But again, didn't take that setup. Wasn't really looking for shorts in that moment. And then instantly after, I saw this 1-minute iFVG. One thing to look at with this 1-minute iFVG, yeah, great displacement. We got manipulation into the 30-minute condition. We are showing that we are disrespecting it, and then we could assume this range high or even higher. So if we hug stops to the bodies or the wick is what I usually do, but long story short, I did not take this setup. For a 1-to-1, it would be right there. Going break even at this internal high. I'm going to be going over why I do not like this setup. Okay, so if we look at ES in this point of time, I don't know why ES isn't in replay mode, but where the fuck are we? Where are we? Let me just make this a little bit easier for myself. Okay, so the 30-minute unmitigated is right here. If we look at the 1-minute time frame and we line it up with this box, when we actually got that trade, I think it was right here, we have no reason to distribute in this scenario. ES is simply just in some fucking 1 minute imbalance. There's no reason for ES to distribute higher right now. Though you don't always need true manipulation, we did get, technically we have an external SMT with these levels. There is a tiny internal SMT, but still, it's, in this case, I would much rather take a trade to, you know, technically my objective isn't finished because ES didn't manipulate into this level. So I'm still waiting for at least remanipulation in this scenario. As you can see, most of the people that took this trade did get break-evened. I did see a couple people win. I think Reese won. My boy Ravi won. But I think they had their stops hugged to the bodies. Wait. Or they just got a wicked fill. Or closed early. I don't know. But yeah, 1-to-1 with your stop loss at the body would have done wonders. But yeah, honestly, this isn't a terrible trade. Just not what I was looking for to start the day. And moving on, we're literally like, today was so weird. There was trades back to back to back to back to back. So we got that 1 minute. So first we started with the 30-second short to the 30-minute unmitigated. Would have got break even. This 1 minute iFVG long, I would have gotten break even on it. And then we are presented with this 2-minute iFVG. So this is based off of a sweep inside of a 1 hour bearish for value gap. Great displacement. Highest time frame inversion of the manipulation leg. Obviously we do get a high time frame stop hunt, if that makes sense. Not high time frame, but a high quality stop hunt inside of a high time frame PDA with great displacement and clear targets below, as this 2 hour with higher time frame, low resistance, and this 930 wick. Well, not wick, 930 body. And if you entered short here, I would have taken this trade, but to be completely honest, I was actually putting on a song for my Discord live stream because it was fucking a little quiet in there. For a perfect 1-to-1, I probably would have just targeted this 30-minute intermediate low. I just want my piece of the pie. Building a buffer on the fundeds right now, so with high enough risk, this would have definitely done wonders. As you can see, this did not play out. It didn't go break even for literally anybody, and you would have lost this trade unless you manage your position like a scared little boy. This is honestly a statistical loss. I think this is high quality. Even though it doesn't line up with my higher time frame distribution, I'm still, I really like this trade. So, moving on. If you have any questions, obviously, I'll leave my link for my Discord server in the description, but you could also just comment and I'll reply, obviously. Okay, so now, after this 2-minute fails, what we're looking at on the 5-minute chart is really disgusting. Okay, it's simply just barcoding, not a lot of stuff going on, no high time frame gaps opening up, or 5-minute gaps opening up. Our 15-minute chart is simply just kind of wiki. No room for any imbalances or anything. We're simply just ranging in this level. So honestly, the only way I would, take a trade in this scenario would be either a short. I wouldn't even want a short off of this buy side liquidity, to be honest, because if we took this buy side liquidity, we're breaking the recent trend we've been running, and if we take this level, we're definitely going to take all-time highs. That is what I said in my Discord server. So if we took this level, I would have gotten off the charts for sure, or maybe look for a call long to all-time highs. But in this scenario, as you can see, where the fuck was I? Yeah, so we're just fucking ranging. So in this point, I kind of just want to see us manipulate down, taking all of this high time frame, low resistance, manipulating into the 2 hour on both assets so we have reason to distribute, and then potentially taking longs if the low time frame structure is high quality enough. As you can see on the higher time frame, or on all the time frames, we absolutely fucking dumped. If you look at how many points it was, I think it was like 320 points. 320 points into this 2 hour bullish. So now both assets not only have reason to distribute, we are in discount of the current dealing range. We hit all of this high time frame, low resistance. We are in a perfect position to be taking longs. So I'll go over the trade I ended up taking today. It's actually right here. If we look on the 5-minute chart, we have made countless unmitigated 5-minute for value gaps. I can, mark all of these out, but I mean, you kind of get the gist of it, right? Making a lot of imbalances, so definitely room for mechs if the low time frame structure is high quality enough. I would never ever take a long simply off of just a dump and then a slight liquidity sweep and then an inversion. Like that is just, I went over that in my fades of the week video on my Instagram. That is the worst possible trades you could be taking. So taking a look, what I wanted to see here is simply just for us to accumulate before this 5-minute fair value gap and obviously generate some low time frame, low resistance where we get a stop hunt and then a nice inversion to catch a little one-to-one piece of the pie to this mech. So even if we are bearish, we are most likely to manipulate this level before going lower. If we are bullish, we are going to flush and take all of these imbalances. In this case, we get our stop hunt inside of the high time frame PDA. I think we're also inside of a 15-minute bullish as well. This is all in discount of the range. Both assets have a reason to distribute. If you take a look, we're reacting off of CE of the range, getting our stop hunt with our inversion. Now, this is the trade. This is the one trade, or the first trade I ended up taking today. Okay, long, just for a quick little one-to-one, about 60 points. Perfect one-to-one, if you ask. No break even, no need for it. What is wrong with this setup? If anybody can identify what is wrong with this setup, you get a fucking cookie. What's wrong with this setup? Okay. It is because we tapped another 1-minute iFVG or 1-minute bearish for value gap up here that we are respecting. So what I wasn't noticing in this scenario was, first I was looking for this V-shape iFVG. Okay. You see, we had good displacement. There was like 5 seconds left in the closure, and then we just, the body closed down here below the fair value gap opening. So here, if this was a V shape, this is a more valid trade. Not only because we haven't touched any other fair value gaps, it's a great displacing candle. It's a V shape IFVG showing that we want to deliver off this level. We are respecting CE of this 50-minute fair value gap. This is A+. But now, if we since we made another candle, or the next candle pushed up into a even premium, or I guess you can say discounted 1-minute bearish, we are respecting this fair value gap. So this is honestly in the last like 3 seconds of this candle closure. So when I was ready to enter, this candle was about right here. I was already setting my risk and everything. I wasn't planning on going break even at this 1 minute, because if this 1 minute gets disrespected and this one gets respected, then like my trade idea is just wrong. So I was expecting just a flush. In this case, price was giving me an indicator that we did not want to deliver off of this level because we hit this, but unfortunately I did not see it. Even though we get our stop hunt inside of the high time frame PDA, we have low resistance leading up to a 5-minute unmitigated. Seems like a great mech, but in this case, just a simple mistake like this, just a simple miss, caused me to lose a trade. And obviously it turned from an A+ trade to a B-, like very, very fast. This is, you can honestly consider this a pattern trade. I personally wouldn't consider it a pattern trade because of like everything else going for it. But this little mistake is completely on me for not noticing it, and I will journal it and move on. But looking at it right after I entered, it was like, fuck, but it was too late, you know what I mean? I was just gonna stick it out, be a man, die by my sword, and this trade does fail. Okay, so we get another stop hunt. Now we are simply just accumulating into this 15-minute and 2-hour bullish for value gap. Right now, not really looking for any re-entry opportunities. Kind of just going over, explaining in my live stream why that trade was bad and pretty much what to look for and what not to look for. But we did get presented with our trade of the day. Okay, so this trade of the day didn't actually come out on top. It was a break even, but the internal structure was just so clean. Like, this was definitely the best trade of the day. As you can see, after this trade does get stopped out, we start accumulating a little bit before this level, getting great AMD structure. We get manipulation down, a strong manipulation candle showing you that we're breaking out of this range, and then we get instant displacement higher, showing signs that we want to distribute. So let me just mark this out. I saw some people take this trade off of the 1 minute iFVG. For more confirmation, I actually entered off of the change in state of delivery as well as the iFVG because just needed more confirmation. And since I already took a loss during the morning, I wasn't ready to just rush another setup and take it. I wanted full confirmation, and I wanted to be actually taking the highest quality setup I could. I entered about right here. I actually put a limit at the change in state of delivery line and targeted this unmitigated 5 minute for a 1-to-1 as well. We did open up a 15-minute fair value gap that I could go break even at. This was, very, very solid. Personally, this was the trade of the day. We get another stop hunt. Both assets are ready to distribute. Great 15-minute PO3. The only downside is the fact that this was right as kill zone was ending, so the delivery may not be as top tier as it should. As you can see, price does deliver a bit. We do show promising signs that we are going to hit full TP. Unfortunately, we did go break even after ES put in an SMT with this unmitigated 15-minute. Typically, I would just wait for my asset to go break even, the one that I'm trading on, and for it to hit that level. But since it was an unmitigated 15-minute, I didn't want to risk it. And and as you can see, this does get stopped at a break even. I did have one guy in my server that was sticking with it, and unfortunately, if we just spam through this, the break even did eventually save you from a loss. So very unfortunate. This was a really high quality setup. I really liked it, and I would take this 10 out of 10 times. Unfortunately, it was break even. First trade, on the other hand, was not that high quality. Hopefully you guys understand why. And that is a full price action recap of the day. Another little P&L check. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.